Welcome to the Namaste Nomadic podcast, a story about life on the road. My name is Madeline. I'll be your host.
And I'm Josh, your other host. This podcast is produced by all of us at Shaman Motion Pictures, and we're just so glad to have you along for the ride today.
And on today's episode, I'm very excited to announce that we have our first special guests and dear friends of ours, the Wandering Dexters.
First guests.
Awesome. So go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm Mark.
And I'm Marina.
And we live in a self-converted box truck.
Mark and Marina are practically our best friends on the road because Mark and I are business partners and longtime friends of 8 years. So we have been working together on all kinds of projects for a long period of time now. And now that we both live on the road, we get to have our little 4-person family here together a lot.
Yeah, it's really awesome. We've been traveling the country together, and now we're making our way around the Great Lakes at the same time.
So we're recording this podcast today right on Lake Michigan in Traverse City, where all of us are together. We've been together for about a week now, and a couple more weeks ahead of us. And these guys are extremely special to us because they're really kind of the people who inspired us in a way to get out on the road, especially you, Mark. You've been doing this a long time.
That makes me so proud to hear. I'm glad that you guys are doing it, and I know that you're loving it, and following your journey is awesome.
Yeah, you guys are 6 months in now, half a year.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Holy moly. What have you learned, about yourself, about each other, about life?
I think for the most part, Mark and I have really been enjoying the slow process of things, kind of just taking every day, one day at a time, because it's so ever-changing with this life on their own. You kind of just gotta roll with the punches sometimes, and it could be the best of days, it can be the worst of days, but it's kind of, how you make it, but it's been pretty amazing so far.
Yeah, and to add on to her going slow, that's something that has definitely changed. We were living in Austin before moving into our box truck and converting it, and the pace of life is extremely fast there. And now, driving your house around, as you guys know, going 55 miles an hour, taking corners like a grandpa, it's actually really nice. And you get to see more, you get to experience things for longer, more beautiful scenic adventures along Lake Michigan. I really enjoy my time behind the wheel, and it's much less stressful than trying to keep up with everyone else. You can go right on by.
Yeah, pass along, turn off your GPS, take the road less traveled, we like to say. That's definitely one of our favorite parts, and our vehicle is capable of taking us all sorts of different places, and it's taken us, crazy places probably we shouldn't have been able to make, but, it's definitely our best memories, too.
We agree. This story is even better because you slow crawl it, right? Like, you inch around and get to take in the sights more. Because, max speed, 60 miles an hour, 65 or so, you just kind of cruise everywhere you go. But that makes it more of an adventure in so many ways. We really are happy to have you guys, and there's so many questions we want to ask you today. We've got a slew of information we can hopefully have that's helpful for our listeners, kind of maybe help inspire them to get on the road too.
Yeah.
Makes the whole stronger. We're all stronger because of it, because of that slowing down that you were talking about. It's like in normal life, it's kind of like a rat race. Like you're going, you're going to work, and then you're coming home, and then you're eating and going to bed. It's a constant cycle, but for us on the road, it's something always different, and I think it's such a big opportunity for us to grow as humans and as a couple together, and all 4 of us. Just kidding.
It really makes you break down your life, just everything that's happening right now compared to where you even were a couple months ago or right before living life on the road. Your life has changed so much drastically, but I think I can attest to everyone living full-time on the road, it's definitely the best decision you can make, for sure.
Absolutely.
Hands down, true statement, y'all.
Yes.
One of the things we really love, talking about on this show is magic, right? Like, that magic that we have within ourselves that helps us achieve these fun, endless adventures, and also just the magic in other people that you encounter along the way, So one of the things we just want to ask you guys about is what kind of magic is in your life? Where have you seen kind of the supernatural really pushing you over the edge into success. And what are some of the best encounters you've had?
Where have you like learned things from strangers you never would have guessed that you would have learned?
Tell us your magic.
Tell us your stories.
There are so many incidences that have already happened for us, in this short amount of time since May that we've been on the road. It's really hard to narrow down just one encounter, but let's see. We, right away off the bat, our first week that we were on our full-time adventure, we were in Colorado, up near Pagosa Springs. We stopped at some hot springs, and then we slowly made it up the mountains. We were looking forward to a nice, secluded night in the mountains. And Mark and I were parked alongside a stream, beautiful, a little bit chilly, and it was around 10:30, and Mark comes around the corner with two people around our age, and super friendly, super upbeat, and instantly we just shared a connection, and we were up till I think 3-4 in the morning just talking. We ended up finding out that the guy had went to a music festival that's really near and dear to our heart, Electric Forest.
Happy Forest.
So all you know, the forest is magical, but our new friend Caleb is also friends with one of our friends in Austin. So finding, a mutual friend in the mountains, no one else around, that's pretty magical, I'd say. And he ended up showing us his fire flow, and we had a really awesome night with them. So definitely a good way to kick off our journey.
First time seeing the dragon staff spun around, and he even let me play with it right away, which was exhilarating, and then we were hooked.
You crushed it.
Bam.
Nothing better than that. I love meeting people and then passing down a skill or a gift to you, or you sharing, vice versa.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. And for us, it's like trading film skills. We'll do a drone shot for you. Like my friend Carmen, we didn't do drone, but we shot her wedding a little bit for free, and it's just been nice to kind of like use our skills as people to like make connections out there with other people who are passionate about fun magic things. And
it's so inspiring.
the flow art really attracts a whole different kind of crowd.
Yeah. Sometimes we get circus vibes, but hey, it's fun stuff.
We are kind of a traveling circus. I mean,
Kind of.
we're
Hey, life
very
is
interesting people.
Yeah.
We're just
I'd
not
say I'm pretty
charging.
normal.
Yeah.
What's normal, though?
Normal is gone. That was a thing of like 2019,
Normal
2020, that normal is very different than what you expected it to be.
I mean, we all...
living on the road.
Right, and we all live life on the road, so it's, a lot different from other people. And I think once you get on the road and you're into this transition, you kind of have the mindset of kind of just doing your own thing, like full-fledged, 100% going for it, more than you've ever thought of doing that before. And you just don't think about other people's opinions as much.
You push yourself to
Yeah.
do what's best for yourself and to find passions that resonate with you. And I resonate with that because living on the road, it's been really a huge push for me personally to experience more passion for my hobbies and for my career, and really dive deep into what the future holds, because we want to continue living on the road. But it also comes with you gotta work for it, and I think we've all done a really killer job so far, and I'm just happy. I love you guys.
You definitely have to get creative.
How do you guys think it's challenged you? Has this road life changed you dramatically? Do you feel like you're a new person because you've been living on the road? How have you changed?
Yeah, it's been exhilarating, to be honest. The whole experience, just the freedom. Sure, you do have a week, I would say, at the beginning where you're scared, you're nervous, you're unsure, you're questioning, why did you do this? I gave up all my comforts of home. But as soon as you kind of adapt and you start letting go of all your fear and that anxiety, and you start meeting new people, and they're telling you like, man, I wish I did this when I was your age, or, oh, this is my dream, you're living my dream, I'm living vicariously through you. You get all of that and you realize this is awesome, and it makes me so happy every single day.
For one, we built this thing ourselves, so that was, a challenge all in itself. We grew so much during the building process. I learned so much about vehicles and construction, and really great time to grow through that. And then also, I would also agree with Mark that a lot of your fear kind of just does dissolve away. You know, it is super scary, especially that first, you know, week, 2 weeks, month, even a little bit longer. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you control your own destiny and you're in charge of it, and you've made this decision to live this crazy journey. So it's kind of like, you know, there's no point of holding back, because if you're holding back, you're just, you know, holding back from, I don't know, all the what ifs. And why not push those what if moments and make them the can moments? And you never know what could be on the other side. So
You're going to regret it if you don't try it.
yeah.
Or
For
one
sure.
of my favorite things you always say, Marina, is just, you gotta just say yes. Just say yes sometimes, you know, and you just gotta go for it. Jump in.
Yep.
And that's pretty much what we all decided to do, is just jump in and go for it. Yeah. And talking about your beautiful box truck conversion, I just love being in that homey, cozy little thing. It's so awesome. Everybody think of a name for it, but we're going with Little Booty Trudy.
Yeah. We the little booties, you guys are the big booties.
Yeah. But, like, what made you decide to go into, like, totally ripping out the interior of a box van out of everything and then making it into your own instead of, you know, buying something already made or whatever?
Yeah, tell us
what
the
made
story.
you passionate to be like, okay, let's get together, you and I, and let's do this dang
Let's
thing.
build our home.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the timing was perfect, and we kind of already had the idea that I was living on the road in a converted Sprinter that I did a few years earlier, and it didn't have many amenities. It had some shelving and a Murphy bed in it, and it was just a really fun experience, and it's more like just kind of boondocking and camping and hanging out in Planet Fitness parking lots for a while and going from gig to gig. But I really liked the lifestyle. We just didn't have all of the things we needed and wanted. So we're trying to figure out what type of vehicle would be next. And yeah, you can buy an RV and they're great and they come like ready to live in. But we wanted to kind of make our own design, have our own elements, and I kind of got hooked into building, and just the whole construction process fascinates me, and I get to let my creativity go and just design in 3D. It's just so much fun. It's such a great experience. And then building our relationship well during the building process was intense at times.
Dirty.
Yeah, dirty. But man, it's just so satisfying to like watch each other accomplish something, and you just like high-fiving each other. You're so proud of one another, and you're like, we're building this. This is so cool. But
6 a.m. dance parties,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
building all night.
all night long.
Snowing sometimes.
It was fun.
Yeah.
But we chose a box truck after looking at shuttle buses and larger vans, but the van life was just a little too small for 2 people full time, we thought, for the lifestyle that we wanted to do and the amenities we wanted to have. So we came up with Van Life Plus. It's still a Ford Transit van, which is just like many other vans out there that people live in, but on the back of it, it has a fiberglass unicell body that's square, which makes life so much easier. So we could just put down flooring, we could put down walls and put in windows wherever we wanted. It was almost like Legos, sort of. And we were allowed to have this creative outlet that we haven't seen before, especially on that specific vehicle. So we're kind of pioneers in a sense to the Van Life Plus. So we have a full shower and a massive fridge and all of these things that an RV has.
Dishwasher.
Yeah, the dishwasher always makes people like, what?
Yeah, Mark insisted he would never do any dishes, so he said it's either the dishwasher or you're doing the dishes. And I was like, okay. So I showed up actually to Wisconsin a little bit after he had started doing the build, and there was the dishwasher
I
without.
hid it from her. If
I
she-
wonder, do you think we can get that microwave out and put a dishwasher in?
Totally.
I'd rather have an oven.
Yes, ovens for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something that we wanted too. And you can put them in a van, and some people have them, but they're usually more like a camp stove oven system, and I didn't really like that. And I wanted something more industrial, something we can actually use all the time. And RVs have them, but then we found the company Furion, and they make all kinds of products for RVs. Really, really nice stuff. So we bought their fridge, we've got their outlets, we've got all kinds of things from them.
12-volt fridge.
Yeah, the
That's
12-volt fridge is great, but just they're a great company. I can't recommend them enough. They're a little expensive, but why not have a huge fridge with a freezer for the same price as
Ice
you
cream.
would for a tiny little one that so many people in the van life community have? They can hold just a couple days of food in there, and we wanted to live. We didn't want to have to think about oh no, we don't have space for that. So we wanted to take it to the next level.
Yeah, Josh and I play Tetris every single day with our fridge, especially after moving. Caution in the cabin, things may have shifted while in movement.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
That is definitely something people don't think about, is the latching, the securement of drawers and all kinds of
things in the
cabinets and
drawers.
things. Yeah. And,
Plants.
Yep.
so you got to think about that, and we've gone through many different phases of trying different locks and Velcro and magnets and everything. The first corner, all over the place. So it's been
Especially
fun.
the places you guys be going.
Yeah, we've definitely pushed our limits to some places you should not see a giant box truck, which has been really satisfying to look at people's faces. So that's one of our favorite things, is when they come around the corner on their four-wheeler or something, they're like, what? How did you get that back here? So it's fun.
Magic.
Yeah, you guys are extremely adventurous where you take that. It's inspiring to push us a little further. I mean, we've taken it a couple places now that we wouldn't have unless, we'd seen that you could be successful at it for sure.
They're
more
capable than you think.
Clearly you've shown that. And you guys are also extremely capable too. I mean, Mark is the first person I go to if we got mechanical issues we got to work through. Our business partnership is really a lot about trust, but also just about solving problems. And those extend from mechanical to financial to legal to anything you could possibly think of. We solve them together.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Man, it is a good thing in life to have a Mark in your corner.
Handy man.
Yeah.
Extremely handy.
So blessed.
So, okay, tell us, since, you guys have always got renovations going, either on your own rig, but do you have any other fun projects coming up? I know that,
Do we?
this industry is really hot right now.
Indeed it is, and we have a couple things up our sleeve. We've been paying attention to the Facebook Marketplace quite a bit, and we found some deals that we couldn't refuse recently, and just acquired a 26-passenger shuttle bus and a couple more of the exact same Sprinter vans that we've worked on in the past.
For each only $1,000.
Score.
So definitely a good investment.
Yeah. It's going to keep
That's
us...
like Christmas Day for the Dexter.
Oh, yes. Yes, it was. So we've got lots of options here, things to build out for people. We'll see how that plays out over the next few months, but just definitely a roadmap, of a plan for the future.
Check back later to get yourself your very own custom Dexter build.
Yes.
I mean, we're not opposed to it.
Oh, guys, that's awesome. So, okay, I want to hear the highs and lows of your whole 6 months on the road so far. What's the funniest, best moment? What's the scariest, lowest moment?
Yeah, I would say that the best moment is just been being able to get to those remote places that normally a person's going to turn around. They're going to see that this road is bumpy and you would not think to go down it, but
not us.
no, utilizing the satellite imagery, I've just gotten really good at kind of finding the right path to take, and then Marina every once in a while runs ahead to make sure we can take a corner or these huge dips with puddles. And so one of our highlights was making it up in the Keweenaw to the very tip that is just a treacherous, like, four-wheeling snowmobiling trail that you don't drive a car down. You take a Jeep or something like that. So as I said, the look on people's faces.
Yeah, we took a 4-mile old back logging road to the tip of, it's called High Point Rock, right? High Point? Yes.
Sure.
And it's at the furthest northwest part of the Upper Peninsula you can go, right above Wisconsin. And it took us about maybe 2 hours to get down there. At first we had pulled off and we didn't make it to the very tip of the point. We pulled off, and we thought, this is a good spot to park for the night. But then we decided we're not going to settle for that. So we threw on our running shoes, and we ran down to the end of the point. It was around 6 o'clock, and we decided, let's just go check this out ourselves. So we ran down there, and immediately we were just in awe of this place. It was gorgeous beyond belief. Oh my gosh, the Lake Superior around the whole corner of it, and just this peninsula of beauty. We were like, okay, that's it. We got to run back to the van, pack up the dog, let's get down here. So that's exactly what we did. It started raining, and Eli's freaking out, and we started heading down the trail to finish the drive, and it was so bad that I had to put on shorts and take off my shoes and walk the puddles, and these puddles were stretched out from, width to width of the road, just huge, massive craters, and I was walking, and actually one of them went to my knees. So it was insane that we were able to get down there. Mark, you're a very talented driver, and we weren't expecting to ever be able to come back there. So our first night, we decided, we can't leave this place. It's so magical, and I had just, oh my gosh, we had just an amazing time, and as the sun was setting, it was just exploding with colors. The stars were incredible, just like anything we've ever seen. So many shooting stars, and honestly, I was in such awe of this natural beauty around me. I just started tearing up, and I just could not believe, like, this place was all to ourselves and no one else was around us. It was great.
For the record, I thought you guys died. They were off service for like 4 days, but I'm so glad that it was like a perfect magical thing.
Yeah.
It was like day 4, and we were like, have you heard from the Dexters? And I'm like, no.
No.
Oh God. Oh wow. Wait, yeah, we should see where they are.
Sometimes you just need to, turn off everything and go off the maps and just
Absolutely.
disconnect from the world.
Realize that the road is out in the middle of nowhere. You can't really turn around because it took 2 hours to make it down this extremely bumpy road. So that wasn't really an option. So I figured, well, we'll talk to him later.
And we actually were getting really low on our grocery supplies, and we had met people the second day that we were there, and they even offered to drive back into town to get us dinner. So they came back with some food for us, some wine. It was amazing. We met, I think, about 11 people that night. There was 4 girls from Kentucky. What's up, ladies? And their dogs. Our friend Hunter from Colorado, we met him. And we met Dustin, what else was his name? John from Michigan. And we all just had a giant fire, and it was amazing. We all hung out together.
And Eugene.
Yeah, Eugene and Emily, we met our first night there. They had, what was their little thing called? Raptor Razor?
Oh yeah, they had one of those side-by-side Razors, like a bigger 4-wheeler for 2 people. And that was so much fun. He scared the crap out of us by taking us down the exact road that took us 2 hours. To get almost a quarter of the way down, the most treacherous part, probably took him 30 seconds. He was going 50 miles an hour through the puddles that we were maybe going 2. So he's just jumping, and there's water everywhere. It was a really fun, like, roller coaster.
He took each of us individually, and he came back to our spot with Mark, and Mark was just covered in wet mud. And so I decided, okay, I have to change right now. So I put on bathing suit bottoms and Mark's wet shirt and goggles, and we went for it. And holy cow, that was exhilarating. That was so fun. Yeah, it's a lot better when you can go fast, It
is. But now for the exact opposite.
Right.
You want to know about the scariest moment? Ooh. That was earlier on in our adventure. We were in Colorado, and we're down by the Rampart Range, kind of evergreen area, really pretty, right along the river. And then there's a place that you have to go up, and it says steep incline ahead. And I didn't really think about it. I thought, we're going to be fine. We can go up hills. We've already tested it. It does pretty well off-road. It doesn't have a lot of power. We're only a V6. But it has enough power to push this baby up. No, it doesn't. So this is
What was
a
the incline?
15% grade, which that's really steep. And it's dirt, and it's not straight. It kind of goes on the edge of the cliff, and it's straight drop off on the side. So we make it 3/4 of the way up in first gear, which I had to do manually, and I need to keep my RPM at least around 4,000 RPM, or we're not going to have enough power to keep going. It's a really high revving engine on there. Unlike you guys with the big motor, no problem. But for us, we got to keep those RPM up, and as we're getting up to the top, we've probably got 40 feet left until we get to the crest, and it starts going down, 2,000 RPM, 1,000 RPM, and we're not going at all.
I look over at Mark's face and I just saw complete whiteness. I have never seen Mark this terrified ever as when we were driving up this cliff. And, well, yeah, it was basically like a cliff. It was drop off everywhere. And I look at
Guaranteed
you
death.
and I immediately I had Eli sitting on my lap in the front. I unbuckled my seatbelt and I had my hand on the handle because at this point I can hear the engine, just how much it's just
Groaning.
Oh, it was so mad at us. And I look around us and it's just straight drop off behind us. Like, we're heavy, so we're gonna be flying down this hill.
Backwards and then flipping over end over
I don't wanna
end
think
into
about
the
it.
river below. Yeah, it would have been a really bad experience. And so I'm white knuckling, I'm just breathing as hard as I can, just like trying to be calm. And sure enough, it slugs at the most snail speed you could possibly imagine, just barely moving forward. But sure enough, it's going. And then finally the front wheels go over and the back wheels come up and we just stop and I'm shaking. I'm
Yeah.
like, we need to stop now.
Yeah.
I need a minute.
We made it
Oh, I'm so
just
glad you're okay.
in the nick of time.
Yeah. Had
I was
bad
ready to jump.
visions. I was ready to, the whole thing was just gonna go.
Oh my gosh.
Don't take that road with something big. Lesson learned.
Wow.
I, for one, cannot wait to see all of these moments play out, and particularly because, and I don't know if this is kind of a unofficial announcement, we made a post or anything, but we are collectively, as Shaman Motion Pictures, putting our cinematography skills, and now Madeline and Marina is in their own right,
Yeah.
skills to the test, as we are creating a feature documentary about life on the road, which is heavily featuring the four of us in our story.
Absolutely.
So what's it been like documenting your life, and what do you think people can expect when this journey's over? I mean, this is going to be a year out from here. We're going to take our time and really explore. But what does it feel like to you having a documentary told about your life on the road?
I think it'll personally be pretty amazing to kind of get like an inside scoop look at just what it takes to live life on the road and kind of the emotional and the physical it can kind of put you through if you're doing it solo or with a partner.
So I think in a year we're going to meet so many more people and have so many more stories. And every time that we meet someone, it kind of unlocks another passage almost, if you choose to take it. Like, we've got friends that we can go stay with now who want to share like some trails and things that they would recommend in their area, and so you just learn so much along the way. But during these times we're also learning so much about ourselves, and that is awesome because a lot of people don't really focus internally on themselves and they just kind of go with the flow. And here you have a lot of time where it's just the two of you. A lot of time. It's just you guys. And there's really nowhere else to go. So you have to do a lot of inner reflection and a lot of communicating and living in a small space. Things can get heated quickly if someone has a disagreement.
With us? No, we're angels.
Yeah, it never happens. But no, you have to realize that you need to overcome those things really quickly because you can't really go anywhere to just decompress besides going for a walk, which is the best part. I mean, nature is the best healer. So anything that has come up, you get over real fast and you just realize that it's not worth it. Like, we have such an awesome life together. I don't know why we're arguing. I think we're just stressed out. Maybe we need to
Hungry.
go. Yeah, a lot of times this girl's just
Always.
hungry. It fixes anything immediately.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, I got you.
Just give me some food and I'm good.
Found that out many times. Like, oh, I know why she's being mean. She's hungry.
Trying to get that fudge.
Wave cinnamon roll in the face.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to see, how we capture our life for the box truck and us building out other conversions, which will be super cool to kind of take a look into that, and RV life, so everyone kind of gets all sorts of different aspects.
Two different sides,
Yeah.
kind of, because it's the conversion part where you have a custom made rig, and then it's ours, which is slightly custom made on the interior. We did our best to make it our own, but I love the aspect of the movie where I think it'll really cover like each rig is specifically special to each person, each family, and I think that we're going to be able to provide our listeners, watchers, and special fans, we're going to be able to provide them with a bunch of information on what to expect to go and dive into this type of lifestyle, and how to make it special for you, and like also just sharing with you all the funny, crazy, scary things that happen to us on the way, because that's the raw part of it. That's what we are living in.
Yeah.
Lots of funny moments.
Oh, and we've been filming them. Oh, it's going to be a really
Buckle
interesting
up,
story.
people. It's about to get good.
Yeah,
Well-
look, with this lifestyle, you really need to just kind of give it your all and just full dive in, because if you don't, you're not going to have as many experiences if you kind of reserve yourself. And there's a lot of people that maybe they build out a van and they don't have windows and they just kind of want to be very stealthy and keep to themselves, and especially during quarantine, that's fine. But if you open yourself up and you start being more of a yes person, just all these doors open up and these people you meet, and you'll get to go on these experiences you never even imagined. It's just been such a ride, and I love it.
If you want to go cliff diving, go cliff diving. It'll probably be like the best moment ever you create for yourself. So
Yeah, you see
It's scary.
you see a post of some national park or something on somewhere in social media, you're like, oh, I wish I could go there. Go there.
do it.
Just go do it. Find where it is and drive there.
Start driving your home. Get there.
The world's so magical, and if you just say yes, the universe will take you right to those cool moments, right to those amazing once-in-a-lifetime places. What a journey.
Yeah, I'm so
Definitely.
excited for the
pretty
next
much-
year.
Well, I guess the last thing we really want to do before, just as we wrap up here, is what would you guys say to all of our listeners about taking this leap of courage? What if they're thinking about sitting at home? Like, should I live full-time on the road? What do you got to say about that? Why should they do it?
So for me personally, looking back at what my life was before I decided to live full-time on the road, it was extremely different. And for myself personally, from where I was then and now, I would definitely choose the person I am now, because I could never imagine not living this life to the fullest. And if I'm just going to sit at home and work, my normal job, stay in this one city, I mean, why am I holding myself back from everything out there? Like all this exploration, all these crazy journeys that I get to explore with the person I love, and yeah, I would never change it. I honestly feel myself letting go of fear more and more daily, and this is kind of my destiny, I do feel like. And Mark and I are definitely the people who don't want to stay in one place for too long. We love exploring, like you guys, meeting new people, and it's the magic out there, and I think we're all definitely putting forth like what we want to manifest, and we're opening up so much magic towards us. So I feel like just letting your guards down, saying no to fear, just saying yes, and go with it.
Yeah. Our van pretty much runs on ADHD. That just kind of sums us up as a whole.
Can you tell?
Yeah. So it works out really well for us because we can't sit in one place. We were driven nuts in Austin, especially when quarantine was just about to happen. We were
You guys
planning.
pretty much got out of there.
Oh,
Yeah, I got out
God.
like the day before they had the big lockdown, and I flew to St. Louis to buy the van, and we started working on it that week. Like finalized our
Remember
plans
that,
and
yeah.
immediately started going at it. And then she flew before they prevented plane flight nationally. So that was a huge bonus. Is the timing was right. Big shout out to Home Depot for having a credit card. And in case you didn't know, you can actually get 3 credit cards. So
We did that.
We got all 3 credit cards, and that's how we built it. But also, the loan interest rate is great right now. So if you're thinking about doing this, you literally are the perfect time. So just stop making excuses and do it.
And now if you're listening to this, now you know the people to ask if you're thinking about customizing a van.
Hey, hey.
If you want us to build you one, whoop.
That's right. You can reach out to Mark and Marina at The Wandering Dexters. You can find them on Instagram or reach out to us through our Shaman Motion Pictures page. We just want to say truly thank you.
We love you guys.
We love you guys.
Love you
so
guys.
much.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Honestly, we couldn't imagine this life without you guys in it too. Like, you are our best friends on the road and in life. We are so thankful to have you as our very first guest.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
It was an absolute blast. And if
we
you
get to travel the next, week still together and pretty much hop across a few different states, and I think this whole connection is going to be
even
really,
stronger.
really cool. We're going to be able to attract even more magical beings because we have 4 of us.
That's right. We hope to have you guys back on the show
Oh, we
after
will.
we've got a few more months under our belt of stories. But in the meantime, we just want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for joining us. And if you've made it this far as a listener on our show, please engage with us. Like we said before, this show is a community. If you've got questions for Mark or Marina, leave them in the comments. Shoot us a DM. We want your feedback and your thoughts. Join the conversation with us. Subscribe below. Make sure you like it, share it. We're on Spotify, Apple, you name it. We got it.
And if y'all have anything that you would love to see during our Nomad documentary, let us know. We would love to,
Give us your ideas.
Yeah.
Well, okay, guys. I think that is it for today's episode. We want to give a special shout out to Mark and Marina for joining us. It was so cool,
Yeah,
guys.
definitely.
And we'll just plan on seeing you all next time for another episode.
Of the Namaste Nomadic podcast.
We'll see you then.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Oh, you guys are so cute.
Crushed.